Distinguished guests at the International Conference on Geothermal Energy in Gujarat at the Pandit University. Today I have the pleasure to introduce to you a young Swedish technology and research company in the field of low temperature geothermal energy. And joining me here today is the founder and CEO of the company, Mrs. Anna Maria Beregi. Very welcome. Please have a seat.
Yes.
Mrs. Beregi, could you please elaborate on what Energeotek is doing on the Indian market these days?
Well, Energeotek is building geothermal power plants for production of electricity and hot water.
Okay, and what are the characteristics of Energeotek's system when we compare to conventional hot geothermal energy solutions?
Well, it's very easy. We have scalable and modular units that can produce electricity and hot water. And we are doing this with new technologies. We have new drilling technology, which makes it possible to use this in all kinds of geological formations. And we also have the electrical producing units that are using low temperature water. These two technologies combined make it possible for us to build these geothermal power plants all over the world.
So it follows the conventional principle, but it introduces several new technologies.
Yeah, that is correct.
How does that affect the market opportunity in India?
Well, the opportunity in India is immense because we can build these power plants everywhere when the energy is needed.
And as a company in your daily operation in projects, what is it that you offer to the market and how do you normally manage your projects?
Well, we usually offer key turn ready systems, which means that we do the pre-study, the exploration, the system design, the drilling and the electrical production units and also the operation of the projects.
So you work with several different partners in the field, and are you also open to cooperation with Indian partners?
Yes, we have lots of partners, but we are always interested in local partners that can help us with, for instance, such as engineering, procurement, and also drilling companies who have extensive knowledge from the oil industry.
Okay. And the deliverable of Energeotek solution to the end customer in India, what can be expected from your power plants?
Well, the power plants produces electricity, hot water, and hot water that can be converted into cooling water. So this hot water and cooling water you can use in the district heating or district cooling systems. And we also build smaller power plants. So this one, for instance, produces 2 megawatt of electricity and additional 9 megawatt of heating or cooling. And this is enough for 3,500 households.
And when you compare Energeotek's solution to the conventional geothermal industry, what essentially differs from your solution?
Yeah, geothermal, the conventional geothermal you already know all about. And that the problem with it is that you can only build them in very special places in the world where you have really hot water, temperatures above 150 degrees or several hundred degrees. And this you have in places where you have volcanic heat or where the continental plates are meeting. So you can't really use them worldwide. And you also have problem environmental impact because you usually don't use reinjection. And this also diminishes the lifetime of the geothermal wells. So you have several problems and you also have large infrastructures in order to transport the hot water where it's needed. But we have a different approach. We have new drilling technologies that makes it possible to drill in all kinds of geological formations. And we use the low temperature water. Water from 55 degrees up to 130 degrees, and we can still produce electricity. These two combined makes it possible to build them everywhere. And also the environmental impact is extremely low. And the life expectancy of these power plants are much larger and longer than for the conventional projects.
So great. This actually sounds like a great complement to the existing geothermal industry.
Yes, it is. Because we can use the wastewater from the conventional geothermal power plants. So this is our add-on for the existing power plants.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mrs. Bireg. I will
Thank you
come
very
back to
much.
you shortly, but I would also like to introduce Mr. Simon Paul. Please join me and have a seat. You are heading the commercial activities now of Energeotek in India. Can you please explain some of the market characteristics, the types of applications and market segments that you are addressing with Energeotek?
Hello everybody, and as mentioned by Anna Maria, that India being an excellent condition for exploring these geothermal projects, we have been to Tata Pani in Chhattisgarh and also Diloro in Gujarat, and seen the conditions there. And looking at the conditions there, we know that we can do a lot there and do good geothermal projects, not only there but in other parts of India also.
Yes, the locations you mentioned are very classical geothermal potential sites in India, but as I understand, Energeotek's solution can also be deployed in other locations.
Yes.
Can you give some examples?
As Anna Maria mentioned, that since it can be worked, it can work on very low temperatures. So it can be in any part of India. It's not only these two, but in other parts of India also.
Yes, we have heard about the planned smart city projects. I assume that this would be an ideal solution to provide energy for these cities.
We've been in discussions with some Indian companies who are into building the smart cities, and they need our help, and they've been discussing with us how we could be of help to them, to make these geothermal plants there.
Fantastic. And you are working closely together with partners in India. Can you describe some of your partnerships?
One of our partners is Jeremy, which is in your campus, and they have been there guiding us and helping us to get projects. And in association with them, we have started exploring for flue gas waste heat also, and converting that into electricity.
So that's an additional application of Energeotek in addition to geothermal. You can also do waste heat.
Yes.
And what kind of locations could be suitable for this waste heat energy conversion? Can you give some examples?
All the thermal power stations where they're using flue gas, where they're wasting flue gas, and steel plant, paper mills, and the others.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Paul, and I wish you good luck with your work here in India. Please join me again, Mrs. Bireg. Have a seat. And give some examples of the power centers that you are now planning to establish in India. How could they practically look like and work, and what kind of activities can one expect inside a NextGeo power center from Energeotek?
Our power plants, they are modular and can be built in different sizes and shapes. And because of the small sizes, you can either put these power producing units into existing buildings, or you can design the building that you would like to have. And in these buildings you could put different activities such as studying and health or food production. It all depends on what you need to do around combining with this energy system.
As I see from your pictures, you offer many different architectural styles and forms of your power centers. Is there a particular idea behind this, or what's behind the different designs of Energeotek?
Usually it's the client who decides what they like to have. Would they like to have a beautiful building, or will they have just a practical building? It's all dependable on the desires.
Okay, Mrs. Bireg, could you please summarize Energeotek's offer now in India together with your local partners?
Yes, our offer is key turn-ready system solutions that can be built all over in India where the energy demand is needed.
And what differs Energeotek's geothermal energy compared to conventional renewable energy solutions such as solar and wind and hydropower?
Well, the great difference with geothermal energy is that it's working 24 hours a day, independent of the sun is shining or if the wind is blowing. So you will have base load energy during 24 hours a day.
That's a fantastic offer now when we learn that India is exploring all kinds of new energy solutions. because the modern society is based on baseload energy, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Berege. I
Thank you
wish you
very
very
much.
good luck with your activities in India.
Thank you.
And for all of you who are interested in more details of Energeotek, please visit www.energeotek.se. Thank you very, very much.